This is why you're failing SWE2 interviews, especially for companies in New York City, as they tend to have pretty unpredictable interviews. I'm going to go over why you've likely not been performing at the highest level you could be and how to prepare properly for future interviews. But first, just a little bit about my credentials and my background. I did get offers from Amazon and Google. You can see those offer letters over here. So right now, to prepare for your interviews, you're probably doing what everyone does, right? Going through the NEET Code 150. And this is the very reason why you're probably failing your interviews. Let me explain. You see, when people do the NEET Code 150, they typically go pattern by pattern. They'll go through arrays and hash maps, two-pointers, sliding window, stack, binary search, linked list, trees, various data structures, graphs, etc., even dynamic programming. But the problem is, when you're in an actual interview, especially for companies in New York City, and this channel is all about landing SWE2 level roles, specifically in New York City. When you're in the interview for those companies, they're not going to just tell you, use a hash map, use two pointers, use the sliding window algorithm, use a stack, use binary search, use breadth first search or depth first search to solve this problem, right? The interviewer is definitely not going to tell you that. I mean, half the difficulty of the coding problem is figuring out, okay, what type of data structure do I use? What type of algorithm do I use? But when you're just studying for your interviews using the NEET Code 150, it basically tells you half the answer to the problem beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, let's say you're doing this two-pointer problem or a sliding window problem, right? And then you click on it. Well, you basically already know beforehand, before you even read the problem or write any code, that you're going to use a two-pointer technique to try and solve the problem. Same thing for all these other categories. And so this is not really preparing you in the best way possible for interviews because it's not simulating the real interview. So what is the most effective way to prepare for interviews then, if it's not just going pattern by pattern through the NEET Code 150, right? What is the best way to prepare for interviews? Well, it's what I did to get offers from Amazon and Google. And it's actually by choosing random problem. So click choose random problem. You get a random question. And when you really use the platform this way, it doesn't tell you what type of algorithm or data structure to use. So you click on the problem, you read it, you try to solve it. Maybe you solve it, maybe you don't, and then you move on to the next question. And then you can go back here, click random again, and then you get another problem and you try to solve this one. And then you click random problem again, and then you try to solve this one. And this is what's really going to take you from maybe not super confident for your interviews to, just absolutely crushing every single interview to the point where you're walking in confident and really prepared for anything the interviewer could throw at you. Because the problem is, when you're just doing the NEET Code 150 pattern by pattern, you're not training that muscle, that, brain muscle of figuring out, okay, what type of pattern, what type of algorithm do I use here? And that's why whenever you walk into an interview and whenever they show you something that you've never seen before, maybe you've panicked before, maybe you've gotten a little nervous, and maybe that's led to you unfortunately not performing at the highest level that you could and failing the interview. And if you're watching this video right now, I just want you to know that you're an incredibly intelligent engineer. I don't know you, but I'm talking to you right now, and you're a genuinely incredibly intelligent engineer, and it's not your intelligence. That's not the reason you're failing your interviews. It's probably the way that you're preparing. Most likely, you're just going through the NEET Code 150, right? Pattern by pattern. That's what everyone says to do. And then when you get into an interview, they give you something you've never seen before, and then you kind of freeze. But instead, if you can shift the way you prepare for your interviews to focus on random questions instead, right? You get a random question and then you just try and solve it. You really start to build this intuition and this gut feeling for what to actually use, what type of data structure or algorithm to use to solve the problem. And ultimately, over time, it's not going to be an overnight process, but over time, you're going to get to the point where you can see any problem and be like, this is how I would solve it. And that's ultimately what's going to lead you to be super confident for your interviews. And that's how you're going to get your ideal offer, especially for companies in New York City, which tend to ask pretty unpredictable interviews. And this is literally the exact approach I use to get offers from Amazon and Google. And so I can confirm that it works. I would never recommend that someone do something I haven't done myself before. I stand by this strategy because it actually worked for me to get offers from these companies. And if you're looking for another video to watch where I break down how to actually land interviews at your dream companies in New York City, YouTube is going to put some videos up on the screen now. Basically, the common advice of try and network, try and get some referrals, be consistent in terms of your applications, that just doesn't work anymore, especially if you're targeting, the top companies in New York City. So YouTube is going to put some more videos on the screen now. They should be popping up somewhere on the left, where I'm going to walk through the exact strategies to actually get in the door at these companies in New York City and ultimately land more interviews at your dream companies. How to reach out to the right recruiters, the specific things you need to have on your resume. Everything's going to be in those videos. They're going to pop up on the screen now. I would recommend watching it next, and I will see you soon.